Have you ever wondered what games you should keep or you should lose? Find out here at Purge Reviews. Have you ever wondered what games you should sell or you should use? Find out here at Purge Reviews. Find out on our top 10 list what games you cannot miss. Don't forget to subscribe to Purge Reviews.
Pursuit of happiness. That is something that we're all after in our life. Let's roll up our sleeves. Let's get them up real tight and let's talk about life, right? Let's be real for a moment. Life is tough. We have hard decisions. We choose somebody when we're young. We marry to them forever. We're told not to do things that we really want to do, right? You may want to run out and buy a motorcycle and your wife tells you no. Or as a kid, you really wanted to buy He-Man figures or Transformers and your parents said no to you. You may want to go have an extramarital affair or run off and leave your family and your church or your society tells you no. But in the pursuit of happiness, the board game, we are going to make those life decisions that we don't always get to make in life or things that we don't want to do. What about if you want to have a big board game collection and your spouse tells you no? Then what happens? These questions are actually answered in this game of Pursuit of Happiness. Now, like most things in life, we're given a rule book. We're giving a text. Now, most of the time for people, this is some kind of religious thing, or maybe it's passed down verbally from your parents. With the Pursuit of Happiness, the game, we're given a full color rule book. It tells us how to set up life, how to go through it, but what it doesn't tell us is the best way to go through life. Instead, we're giving these hourglasses that represent time in our life. And we will spin these hourglasses to take actions on the board. And as we do so, one after the other, what we're doing is that we're spending moments at our life, just like we do every single day at work. But in this game, we're doing that. We're going to work. We're getting a job. We're taking a project on. We are doing something to monopolize our time. At certain points in our life, maybe we go on a cruise. We take our family and we spend our time there. Maybe you prefer to have a wine collection. Maybe that's what's important in life to you. Maybe you just want to have a dinner with some friends and have some friends over. Maybe you just want that new PlayStation console and you want to play video games all day. You can do all those things. But at the same time, you might have to have a job. You're going to need some income. You want to be a civil servant? Or maybe your path is to be a teacher. Each job comes with a double-sided job. But life gets kind of lonely at times. And maybe you need a Claire. Or everyone's double-sided. Maybe you really need a Corey. Just depends on what you need to facet in your life. But maybe Corey isn't doing it for you. So you want a little Sonia on the side. Man, that's going to be stressful keeping those two people apart. Corey and Sonia can never be together. Or if you had preferred, Claire and Sean. Or Claire and Sonia. Or Corey and Sean. The possibilities are endless. Yes, you can cheat on your spouse in this game. You can cheat on your girlfriend in this game or boyfriend. It's all right here for your actions now. Will they have more understanding if you're being an actor in a play? These are all things that you can do. When the game starts, each player will get a child trait. Something in their life that will dictate who they are and what they are to become. You can fight against these things, these child traits that you get, but why would you want to? There's going to be benefits if you stay true to yourself. Maybe you're a geek or you have a lot of charisma. Okay? These are things that will just guide you through life. As you're going through life and you're doing these things, whether activities or projects or people you're going to interact with or jobs that you're going to have, Well, as you're spending the hourglasses of your life, you are going to take on stress, and you have short-term happiness and long-term happiness. Now, to win this game, you have to score the most long-term happiness, the victory points. But during this process of your life, you're also going to have to look at your short-term happiness. And how does your short-term happiness play into your long-term happiness? Well, it can. And it can make certain things easier to do if you're a happier person. But if you don't have a lot of short-term happiness, it can make things a lot more difficult to do. And that's portrayed in this game. You have three currencies, main currencies, that you're going to be utilizing in this game. Your study, your intellect, and what I call your ability to get along. And by collecting these currencies and spending them in addition to money, money's important in life, right? You will be able to amass long-term happiness. Now, in this game, there's a lot of ways to do that. Perhaps through relationships. Maybe a brand new television is what brings you happiness, mixed with that gaming console right off the market. Maybe it's martial arts. Each time you play, you're going to have a different outcome of what the character of your life is. And that's exciting in this game. That's a very big part of this game, is designing the person that you want to be. Now, there was a game called CV that tried to do this with a Yahtzee-style mechanic. And I don't feel like that story was as strong as the story that you're going to get here. That was more of a humorous-based. This is more of, this is who I am. I'm an analyst, and I'm married to Aaron. We went to the zoo in our life, and we hosted dinner parties. And we were scoutmasters in a scout group. We had some ancient relics that we liked, but we were also into the gaming console. Personally, I became a TV presenter and finally retired as a news presenter. And I loved martial arts. And that's a story of me, the geek. These stories that come alive are so important and become so real that you feel like you're that person. And that's where the fun at Pursuit of Happiness comes from. It's the theme, the story that just comes falling out of this game. Let's take a look at this board. So what you're going to have here across the top is your long-term happiness. This is going to be the victory points in the game. If you can see down here, you're going to have a couple cubes that'll be tracking your short-term happiness. As you go up on the short-term happiness, when you pay for projects, you can pay 1, 2, or 3 less. But if you get unhappy, you have to pay more. It's just harder to motivate you to do projects. Now here, you're going to be tracking stress. And you want to be the least amount of stressful as possible. And as you become less stressed, you will get more hourglasses. These are your workers during this game. It's also, when you get to the old age, you will be decreasing your stress to the point where you will die off. And this is a very important concept up here, is you're going to start out as a teen, become an adult for quite a few years, and then the old age. And people may die at different ages depending on how less stressful their life was. Now, the game is fairly easy to understand. You're going to have these things. These are projects. These are items or activities that you can purchase. You're going to have your jobs and the people that you may want to date and or marry. You're going to have a number of workers or hourglasses, and you will set these apart to do things. These three up here will get you the resources. Your study, your play, and your interact. In these, you will use when you want to take a project, spin an activity, one of these two. And you'll look here that it just has an icon on what you pay for and then what you get on this side. Now there's a few different projects, but most of these work the same, that you're going to pay something to get something more valuable. You can always take 3 coins at the temp job. You can work overtime by taking on more stress. You can start a relationship with somebody and get married. And as you take a relationship with somebody, each card is always double-sided to show you the male or the female perspective. They're exactly the same on both sides except for the artwork. Now you're always going to start out with dating, building a relationship, and then getting a heavier relationship, which would lead you up into being married. Some of these will have raised family together. So the abilities become more powerful as you go forward. Now, getting a job is how you're going to be your main source of income, so you don't have to take the temp job all the time, which doesn't pay as well. And these will also have things that you have to pay at the beginning of the turn. And you will just make your choices. And what's so beautiful about this game is that you will be making choices on what you want to do with your life every step of the way. Do you want to be somebody who studies more? Or do you want to be somebody who plays more? Is your relationship most important? Is that where you want to spend your life, is building a relationship with somebody now to get these bonuses? Or would you prefer to be somebody who goes out and does things in life? Act in a play, be in an art competition. What interests your character? Now, when the game starts, you'll start off with one of these child traits. In this case, this is the geek. Whenever you study, you get +1 book. Okay? So the game is leading you to play into this child trait, although you don't have to. But you're going to be rewarded if you study with the geek. Now, the charismatic character, whenever you develop a relationship, you ignore the partner requirements. So this allows you to build relationships much quicker than any other character at the board. So maybe you want to play into that. All of these actions you have play into each other and create a duality of a life that you're having here. And you'll see your character slowly and slowly and slowly age until they become old age and your time is running out. All of a sudden, you're worried about how you treated yourself your entire life with your stress, because it's whether you get another round in this game or not. Now, you can always rest and spend time, but if you wait till you're old to rest, you may have worn your body out and you have no more time to do so. This is a super fun game. This is the game of life for gamers. This is the game that you would like to purchase. And this, my friends, is the exact definition of a pursuit of happiness.